Well, good afternoon. This is Betty Meredith, President of the Retirement Resource Center, and I'm happy to be your session host today for Advanced Care Planning, a critical component for building client relationships with Paul Malley, President of Aging with Dignity. We heard the statistics. Each day, 10,000 people turn age 65. And as the population ages, clients will also need help navigating complex financial, health, and end-of-life decisions. Advisors can play an important role by introducing clients to advanced care planning, where clients define, communicate, and document their healthcare wishes. Currently, less than 30% of adults have an advanced directive, and this webinar will help advisors understand how to begin and continue these difficult conversations. Paul Malley is president of Aging with Dignity, a national nonprofit organization based in Tallahassee, Florida. Its mission is to help individuals and their families receive the care they want in case of a serious illness. As Director of Aging with Dignity, Paul coordinates the distribution of the 5 Wishes Advance Directive. Created by Jim Toohey, founder of Aging with Dignity and former legal counsel to Mother Teresa of Calcutta, 5 Wishes is an easy-to-use legal document that addresses important medical issues such as the personal, emotional, and spiritual matters at the end of life. More than 14 million Americans have turned to 5 Wishes as their preferred tool to make their wishes known and to discuss their preferences with their family and doctor before a health crisis. More than 15,000 partner groups such as hospitals, hospices, places of worship, employers, and community organizations make up the growing network of organizations that distribute 5 Wishes in communities across the country. Paul and the work of Aging with Dignity have been featured in national media, including CBS, NBC, and ABC Evening News, CNN, and other shows like the US NBC Today Show, Good Morning America, US Today, Wall Street Journal, and New York Times. So Paul, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll now turn it over to you.
Thank you, Betty. It's great to be with you, and I'm grateful for the whole team at the Retirement Resource Center for hosting this webinar, and to everyone who's attending live and everyone who will listen later down the road. It's great to be with you and to talk about this important topic. As Betty mentioned, I'm the president of a national nonprofit organization. It's called Aging with Dignity. We're based in Florida, in Tallahassee, Florida, but we work across the country. We serve individuals and families, organizations, financial advisors, faith communities, employers that use our resources to help families receive the care that they want, to help individuals receive the care that they want by identifying what's important to them in case of a serious illness. Our founder, Jim Toohey, has an interesting story, and it's interesting because it relates directly to our work at Aging with Dignity and the purpose behind the 5 Wishes resource that we'll focus on today. He was legal counsel to Mother Teresa of Calcutta. He did her legal work in the United States and Canada and Mexico, helping with things like immigration for sisters and opening of homes. It's not exactly easy to open a house in Havana, Cuba, or in other parts of the Western Hemisphere. He helped with things like that. But more importantly, for our work, he first met Mother Teresa when he was visiting India. He was in Calcutta, and he had a chance encounter with her. And she asked him to visit her home for the dying. It's called Kalighat. And he went there thinking that he would go on a tour. He would see the mission work of the sisters and be inspired by it, and he would leave, and that would be that. But it was a very different experience for him because he was put to work. He walked in, and one of the sisters there said, "Here's a washcloth and some cleaning, some soap. Please clean the man in bed 46." And he, as he tells this story, said, there was no part of me that wanted to do that. He hadn't been around sick, the dying, the poor in the past, but he went over and he cleaned that man. He was at his bedside, and it was an experience that changed his life. He came back to the United States, quit his full-time job. He had been working for a U.S. senator at the time, and he went to live full-time at the Gift of Peace House in Washington, D.C., which in the 1980s was caring for men, all men who were living there who had been diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. So he was a live-in volunteer there, was at their side daytime, nighttime, and he saw there this common thread of human dignity, whether it was the dying in Calcutta, those who are at this Gift of Peace house in Washington, D.C., those who are aging in our own families, whether they're in our homes, in hospitals, or nursing homes. This desire to have our human dignity acknowledged and strengthened and protected. That's why he founded Aging with Dignity. And when we as a grassroots organization thought, what could we do to help people across the country communicate what's important to them, what dignity means to them near the end of life, that's what led us to creating 5 Wishes, the resource that we'll talk more about today, the resource that is a great tool that can be used by financial advisors. More than 30 million people have already used 5 Wishes. It's available in 29 different languages. It's used by organizations, not just financial planners, but also healthcare providers, faith communities of diverse faiths from across the country and across the world. And because it's translated into 29 languages, it's appropriate in very diverse populations and communities. So here are the nuts and bolts of what we aim to cover and to offer to you through this webinar today. We'll look at the value of advanced care planning, what it means to plan before a serious illness, and how that fits into your role as a financial advisor, and information that you can offer to your clients as a way of building trust, and their trust in you and the information that you're providing, and also to grow your business, to lead more referrals your way. We'll help you have a better understanding of how to start conversations with your clients about advanced care planning. This can be, it's no joke, it can be a bummer of a topic to talk about. We realize that. It's hard to talk about end-of-life care, about what happens in case of a serious illness. A lot of times barriers are raised, so we'll talk about how to jump over some of those barriers. And also to talk about the specific framework of 5 Wishes and how it can be helpful to you in starting the conversation and walking through the planning process with your clients and their families. And also we'll just finish by talking about specifically in the sector of financial advisors, how you can put 5 Wishes to work for you and for your clients.